I recently went on a first date with a guy, and despite knowing deep down that it was a no throughout the whole date, I still needed to come home and process for 24 hours and think it over before I sent him the text that said I don't want to go on a second date. And although there is nothing wrong with needing time to think it over, I found it really interesting the ways in which my mind tried to override my intuition, so I want to talk about that. I made a whole nother video about all of the reasons why I said no, but the reasons why my brain told me to say yes actually didn't have anything to do with him. They were more self-deprecative things. There was a voice that said, Ellie, you don't want to go out with him because he actually is emotionally available and that scares you. Then there was a voice that said, Ellie, you had your walls up, so he didn't even have a chance. And then there's a voice that said, Ellie, you're just being really picky. What's interesting is while I was sitting there thinking about this, I realized that the tone of those voices weren't actually mine. They were from one of my caregivers growing up. And we can talk about my childhood in another video, but I think it's important to note that I have this core wound of feeling unlovable, and often I have a pattern of trying to save relationships by assuming that there is something wrong with me. And I was talking to a friend about this. That's actually a survival pattern. But my own voice knows that I do not need that man. I do not need him to survive. And maybe, yeah, emotional availability is scary to me, but I know that I trust myself to be open to it when it comes to me. And I don't actually think my walls were up. I mean, it was a first date, and we had a great conversation. We were both open and vulnerable, so I don't think that's actually true. And there's no such thing as being too picky when it comes to who you date, because your life partner is like the most important decision, or one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. I am so grateful for this experience because it reminded me to keep practicing the belief that I am not a bad person for wanting what I want. There is nothing wrong with me for having high standards. And it was fun. I got to go on a date and meet somebody new and learn about him and myself, and that's what life is all about. Everything's fine. Let me know if you want me to do a video on how to tell the difference between what is like self-awareness and what is actually self-criticism. All right, love you, bye.